Hello, I'm Sam Sherrick. Welcome to our April buy-side update. Most buyers think the search starts when they get on the phone with a business owner. In reality, that's often where buyers start making mistakes. The first owner call is not just an introduction, it's a test. The seller is asking themselves, is this buyer serious? Do they understand my business? Can I trust them with my employees, customers, and legacy? And are they actually capable of closing? That's why preparation before the first call matters so much. Before I get into that, here's a quick April update. In April, our buy-side team generated 343 introductions, held 127 calls and meetings, submitted 26 offers, closed 4 deals, and we continue to have 19 deals under letter of intent. That brings us to 11 total buy-side closings year to date. Strong activity across the board, but the bigger story is what happens before those calls and meetings ever take place. At Calder, we spend a lot of time preparing buyers before they ever speak with a business owner. That preparation starts even before someone becomes a client. First, we help define the right search. We take a buyer's criteria, research the market, and help them understand what the actual opportunity set looks like. How many companies are realistically pursuable? Where are they located? What industries do they fall into? What size ranges are they in? We'll break that down by industry, geography, and size, including heat maps, so the buyer can understand whether their search is too broad, too narrow, or right in the sweet spot. Most buyers don't know whether their search works on paper before they start. We help them figure that part out up front. Second, we build a compelling buyer story. Once a client signs on, we use structured questionnaires to understand who they are, what they're looking for, and why they should be compelling to a seller. From that, we build 2 key profiles. One is a blind buyer profile, which can be shared publicly without identifying the buyer. The other is a personal profile, which identifies the buyer and functions almost like a superpowered resume. The personal profile is only shared with prospects the buyer wants to speak with. The point is simple. Sellers don't just evaluate offers, they evaluate buyers. Fit is first before financials. Third, we engineer a strong first impression. For many buyers, we recommend recording a short professional buyer video with our videographer. It's optional, but highly recommended. That video gives sellers a chance to see the buyer, hear their story, and start building trust before the first call ever happens. But the first impression goes beyond the video. We also help buyers think through how to present themselves, how to explain why they're pursuing an acquisition, how to communicate credibility without sounding scripted, and how to make sellers feel comfortable taking the next step. By the time a seller gets on the call, we want them to already understand who the buyer is and why the conversation is worth having. Fourth, we train for the first conversation. Before the search fully launches, we often conduct a mock intro call. The lead advisor role plays as the seller, and the buyer practices their opening pitch, their personal story, why they're pursuing this path, and the questions they want to ask the owner. This is extremely important because the first few questions a buyer asks can send the conversation down the right path or the wrong one. We coach buyers on what questions create trust, what questions create friction, and how to move the conversation forward without making it feel transactional or like an interrogation. Now, fifth, we align the entire process before launch. We walk buyers through the overall process, expected timelines, how to evaluate prospect introductions, how to prepare for calls, what criteria are their automatic disqualifiers, and how to ask the right qualifying questions. We also help make sure they have the right team around them, attorney, CPA, lender, equity sponsor, or other third-party advisors where needed. The goal is that when the first real opportunity shows up, our buyer is not figuring it out as they go, they're ready. This preparation is not just theoretical. Since making buyer preparation and coaching a bigger focus over the last few years, we've seen meetings per client per month increase by as much as 50%. That tells us buyers are not just receiving opportunities, they're converting more of these opportunities into real conversations. We've also seen offer activity rise materially, including recent months with 30+ offers submitted across the platform. It doesn't happen by accident. It comes from buyers showing up more prepared, making stronger first impressions, and knowing how to move conversations forward. Better preparation doesn't just improve one call, it compounds into more meetings, more offers, ultimately more closed deals. Most buyers underestimate how much preparation matters and lose the deal before the first call. A first impression can create momentum, or it can quietly kill a deal before it really starts. So if you're serious about acquiring a business, the question is not just whether you can find opportunities, it's whether you're prepared to win them when they show up. That's where our buy-side team comes in, and if you're thinking about starting a search, we'd be happy to talk.